Hi, welcome back everybody. It's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy, and we're going to talk about strike in this particular video. And I'm going to give you some drills to help you to try and improve your strike, change your strike pattern if it's not in the right position when you're on that range and working on your golf game, especially through these winter months. Great time to put a little bit more time and attention into your games ready for next season. So we're going to talk very much about the driver, strike on the driver, how it can really affect that ball flight and the spin on the golf ball. So let's get stuck into the video and let's improve your strike with the driver. Okay, so I've done many videos and a lot of other YouTubers have done videos about strike and how it affects the spin, the speed of the golf ball, the direction and what it does through the flight. And I think that's probably more so with a driver or a wood than it is with an iron. So with the CG placement of wood being further back in the club head, obviously we have things of like roll and bulge on the club face, and that's there for a reason. That's there to sort of help you and with those miss hits. But basically we've got a thing called gear effect happening when we miss the strike. So tend to see when we hit the toe of the golf club, this is for a right-handed golfer, toe of the golf club, it tends to try and put more of the right to left draw shape on the golf ball. If we hit the heel, it tends to do a little bit of the fade. When we start to hit low in the club face, we tend to see a ball flight that will come out a bit lower, but then packs it and puts the gear effect on of trying to recover in it and put an extra spin on, which makes it sort of climb, and we know that is a very weak ball flight. And vice versa, we hit high in the club face, we see the launch angle pop up a little bit higher, and then it drops a little bit spin off. So where we strike on the club face will very much change the way the ball starts off, how it spins, and how it flies through the air. Some of you may know what your strike pattern's like. From my experience through golfers coming for fittings, for lessons, a lot of guys don't actually know where they hit it on that golf club, which is quite sort of scary in a way, but some people feel it more than others, some people don't. So if you've got an idea of where you hit it, you might think, oh yeah, I tend to always hit that heel. If I don't hit the middle, I tend to creep into that heel side. Then trying to sort of hit the toe of the golf club can be quite a different feel for you type of golfers. And vice versa, guys hit the toe a lot. They might see a little bit more of that right to left sort of shape, depending on what they do with the club face and path, obviously. But then trying to hit the middle or the heel of the golf club can be quite different. So this little drill I'm going to give you here, it's a little bit of experimenting a little bit yourself when you're on the range, and you're going to need something like foot spray or some face impact tape to get some feedback of where you're actually striking it. I'm lucky enough I've got GC quad on the floor, so these little 4 white dots on the cameras, it tells me exactly where I'm hitting on that club face. Obviously you guys won't have the luxury of that, I'm guessing, so you're going to have to use something like foot spray. Is very good, leaves that ball imprintation on the club face, or actual face tape that you can stick on and it leaves the dent. So what we're going to try and do here is hit all 4. Imagine drawing a square across through the middle of the club face, across the club face. We're going to try and hit all 4 segments basically. So low heel, high toe and low toe. And obviously anywhere in that middle will also be good. So we're going to try and do that on command, on purpose, and this will test you how you can change your strike. And maybe if you're identified yourself as a toe strike, maybe that high toe strike, what's it like to hit that low heel? And you're probably surprised it'll start to move the strike pattern a little bit more down into that middle section, which is where we're going to get the ball speed. So 4 balls. I'm going to give this a go now. We've got GC Quad obviously going to tell us the strike pattern here. So I've got 4 balls and I'm going to try and hit low heel to start with, then I'm going to mix it and go high toe, and then I'm going to go high heel, and then I'm going to go low toe. Okay, so very much moving it around from shot to shot. So first one, we're going to start off with a low heel. Okay, so that definitely felt heel. Maybe not quite as low as I want, but the flight I've seen there is it's peeled off to the right. Started off quite square, maybe a little bit to the left, and it's just sort of peeled up that right hand side with that cut spin. Okay, so we can see from the diagram there, very good on that low heel strike. So we know that is going to increase the spin number and also the side spin. So if we just have a little look at those side spin and a bit of that ball data basically there, so we can see there that we've got a backspin number of 3,500, nearly 3,600, so a high spin number there, and you can see the side spin number there, 1,249. So that's obviously R, which is right spin, so fade spin for right-handed golfers going to the right. That's obviously peeling, as we could see, peeling off of that right-hand side. Okay, so decent start there. I hit that low heel, exactly what I wanted to do, and maybe a little bit of an example of what happens to that ball flight and the ball in the spin and the flight that it does through the air. Again, it does depend on your swing direction as well as the club face direction, obviously, as to what this ball does as well. So let's move it into the high toe now. So the far extreme from where I've just hit it all the way up into that high toe section. Again, this really helps or gives you an idea of how you can change that strike pattern, your feel of how you can change it and move it around this club face. Oh, that was high toe. Really feel the twist in there, and the flight has gone up the right and it's now drawn back to the left of the target. So that's where the roll and the bulge will really take effect there. You know, the toe of the golf club as it's bent back is going to face more right. That's where the ball started, but then the gear effect curves it back towards that target. So that ball actually is in play, isn't it? And that's where the roll and bulge is your forgiveness level. But let's look at those numbers on the screen here. So we can see, there we go, there's that slightly high toe, maybe not quite as high as what I actually felt, but I've definitely felt a lot of that twisting happening through the club face there. So that high toe shot, let's look at the numbers and what it does to the numbers and maybe how different they are in relation to that low heel that we found. So we can see actually the ball speed there at 152 was higher. So what you typically would find is the toe section of the golf club is obviously going to travel a bit faster than that heel. So you tend to see some extra ball speed as a result of that. Slightly higher in the face, launched it higher, so 14.7, noticeably higher in that launch angle. And then we can see now the side spin is 786L, so that's left, that's draw, so that's drawing. Obviously it's left, as you could see on the ball flight, and look at the spin number there, 2,000, just over 2,000 the spin, so a good 1,500 revs lower in the spin. So it's more of that drawing, sort of diving sort of flight. So a huge difference of distance at 258 against the 219 that we saw with that low heel. Massive difference. Okay, so far so good. I've hit the low heel, I've hit my high toe. So we're going to try and hit high heel section of the club now. That high heel. This won't feel good, I'm guessing, because we know when we hit that heel of the club, it always feels very dead, especially in that high heel section. Let's give this one a go, see if I can do it. Oh yeah, that felt awful, but that's flown quite nice, to be fair. It's fairly neutral. I don't know how high I got that in the heel. Definitely in the heel, but not maybe as high as what I'd want. And that actually flew pretty straight, didn't it? So again, looking at the strike pattern there, we can see that red dot was the last strike there, so we can see that is heel, maybe not quite as high as I wanted to, so not got that in quite the spot I wanted. But again, we can see how that ball flight has actually flew fairly sort of straight. Again, my club face was a fraction close to my pass, so that heel strike's just sort of squaring that flight up a little bit more there. Looking at the numbers, again, be interested to look at the spin numbers. So ball speed 153.3, back into that 10-degree launch there. Spin was only 116 right, that's why it flew pretty straight on its actual ball flight as we physically saw it, but again that spin's popped up. So back into that heel section, we see that spin go up a little bit more, 2,782 and a 250 carry. So those sort of shots, so I think when you hit that heel on the golf course, you'll feel it's not a solid contact, and it doesn't feel that great, it feels a bit dead, but sometimes you get those quite straight flying golf shots. So a lot of your playing partners go, oh, that's a great shot that, but you know, oh god, that didn't feel that great, and you sort of get away with it a little bit more, don't we? So let's move into that low toe, final one now. Let's see if we can hit that low toe and see what happens to that ball flight. Very toe. It's stayed out there a little bit. It's up that right and just stayed out there. Yeah, got that low toe strike happening there. Seeing a drop off of distance again. I'm getting different sensations up the club. Definitely feeling a lot of twist around the shaft there as I'm missing the centre of gravity of the head. The centre of gravity of the golf ball really misaligning those, which gives us a twist. We're going to lose pretty much some ball speed here. But again, looking at the strike, we can see there that red dot. So that's the low toe. Got that one right, so that's not bad. I got 3 out of the 4 that I was trying to do there. Again, low in the face strike is creating that slightly lower launch, so that launched to 8.6, 154.7, so decent ball speed. We've seen better ball speed there through the toe strikes than the heel strikes, especially obviously that low heel first one was an awful ball speed number there, a very dead part of the golf club. So we've got the 168L on the side spin, so that little bit of draw. It started out to the right because the toe point's more right, didn't quite gear enough back there as I did with that high toe shot, but again that spin's shot back up into that 3,500 spin number there. So what we're seeing a little bit of a pattern of here is when we hit the low one, so the low heel was the first one, the low toe was that top one there. You can see the low strikes give us a high spin number. The slightly higher up the club face we go, we can see that spin number comes down dramatically. Okay, so there we go. That's a probably good exercise for you to do. If you're understanding that you've got a different strike pattern, whether it's a toe, it's low in the face, it's high in the face, it's in the heel, then just maybe have a go with that exercise there on the range and just try and see if you can on command move those around. How that then maybe opens up some different feels of how the club twists in your hands, the acoustics, the sound of the club, as well as the sort of feel of when you're hitting different parts of the golf club. Sometimes, as I say before, when I get guys in, they think they're hitting the middle of the golf club and they're actually consistently in the heel or the toe, but they probably hit it that many times in that area off centre that they actually start to accept that they're finding the middle of the golf club. That feels the norm. That's what the middle of the golf club feels like. But as soon as you start moving that and make them aware of where they're striking it, moving that strike into a bit more of the middle of the golf club, or a lot more central, the feels are massive and they're like, wow, that felt so much better. So until they sort of appreciate the different parts of the club face they hit, they don't then understand, the potential of what they're giving up in terms of ball speed, spin, and everything like that. And we can quite easily add some more yards to the golfers' drives, basically. So, comment down below, let me know your thoughts. If you feel like you misstrike it, go and give this drill a go. Come back, comment down below, let me know your thoughts. How did you get on with it? Was it quite easy to move that around? It's not the easiest thing to do there. I appreciate, but something you can go and work on. But do comment down, give me some feedback in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, just hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed and you're watching, you're joining, there's more content will be coming your way. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button, very much appreciate it. And also while you're there, just ring that bell so a notification will come through as soon as the video lands. You will not miss a thing. And hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.